Welcome to this edition of House Report. Reaching you from our Abuja studio in Nigeria, I am Tawa Yusuf. Major report comes from the House of Representatives here in Abuja, where House members called to the U.S. government to delete Nigeria's name from its terror list. The House of Representatives has ordered an investigation into the circumstances that led to Nigeria's inclusion on the U.S. watch list. The House said Nigeria's categorization was not only hasty, but had put in jeopardy the cordial bilateral relationship between Nigeria and the U.S. The resolution came as the Chairman House Committee on Foreign Affairs, Honorable Umar Bature, said Nigeria had not been classified as a terrorist state, but as one of the countries of interest to the U.S. for the purpose of ensuring that all flights originating from Nigeria are subjected to more thorough checks to avoid a repeat of Farouk Abdulmutalab's bomb attempt.
Because we are living a bilateral arrangement that dates back to 40 years. In Nigeria, our interest in the U.S. is far greater than the interest in Nigeria. You and you know that. The economy will have our families there, we have our children there. So if this are not taken with information, we are going to make further mistakes of jeopardize further mistakes.
The lawmakers, after a heated debate that lasted over an hour, voted that committees on national security and intelligence, foreign affairs, diaspora matters, as well as aviation should jointly investigate the incident, as well as Nigeria's response to the apparent diplomatic row that ensued soon after the U.S. decision. The committees have 2 weeks to present a report on findings. Meanwhile, the House has decided to formally protest by writing to the U.S. Congress, just as it urged President Barack Obama to rescind his decision over the inclusion of Nigeria on the list of interest and order open and fair trial for Abdulmutalab within the limits of American laws and standards of international jurisprudence. Chairman House Committee on Air Force, Honorable John Halims Agoda, lamented that the incident had brought the reputation and self-worth of millions of Nigerians to ridicule, as they are now targets of unedifying body searches at all airports in the U.S. and other parts of the world. Agoda, who urged Nigerians to condemn all acts of terrorism in whatever guise, said Abdulmutalab's action was condemnable but could have been avoided if there had been better coordination amongst security agencies, both in Nigeria and the U.S.
As I said when I was moving my motion, that one individual person act can indeed affect the image of a nation, and equally the achievement of one individual can also help to spread the image of a nation. And in the light of that, and also having in mind that Nigeria's role in the issue of world peace as it relates to peacekeeping and signing of various instruments that relates to the issue of terrorism, and importantly the contribution of very many Nigerians that have achieved a lot in their chosen field of endeavor. All these put together, we decided, among others, to urge the American governments and people to reconsider the issue of Nigeria, including Nigeria in their terrorist list.
Some honorable members also reacted to Abdulmutalab's action and the inclusion of Nigeria on the terror watch list.
America knows that Nigeria and Nigerians are not terrorists. America knows that we do not belong to being put on the terrorism watch list or security, whatever watch list. But America's action is telling us that there's a vacuum in leadership in your country. The first line of contact would have been Obama and President Yar'Adua, but there was none. There should have been immediate high-level diplomatic shuttle, diplomatic shuttle, but there was none. So it's just telling us that, listen, there's something wrong with your country. In fact, we shouldn't be classified, we should be classified under countries with leadership issues, not under countries with security, whatever. But America saw this as an opportunity to just pass this message to us. So what we need to be doing is, number one, America should get us off that list, because that we don't belong there, and they know that we don't belong there. Two, as a nation, what are we doing about our leadership issues in Nigeria, which I think is our major problem in Nigeria, not anything terror or terror related. So as a nation, as a people, there should be constant wake-up calls that we have to do something about ourselves. And I'm not saying government alone, everybody. Where are Nigerians who are speaking out? Speak out against, ask questions, and hold government people responsible for actions or inaction.
The only thing I frown at is, whatever you are, wherever you come from, terrorism is condemnable in its entirety, because terrorism by its definition is targeted against civilians, people that are not armed, and it has a political motive. It has a motive for scoring a political point, probably against the government of a particular country. And whichever country it is, I'm of the opinion that for an individual to be involved in terrorist act is totally condemnable. That Nigeria is being put on a terrorist watch list is not a big deal after all, as far as I'm concerned. It's for security reasons, it's for the purpose. And it's left to Nigeria and to Nigerians and to whoever is passing through Nigeria to subject himself to security search if it is going to ensure that terrorist activities are curbed worldwide. And it will be wrong for anybody, or for even for the American government, to see Nigeria as a terrorist state. Nigeria is a terrorist state for any reason. Nigeria does not in any way support terrorism, and that is my own opinion.
It's unfortunate that kind of incident should happen, because one will see that the boy is not going to kill himself alone, but he's going to kill others, maybe 420 people on board. It's quite unfortunate. I don't know why, because of religion or what else. The reason is best known to him, but whatsoever reason it may be, it's quite unfortunate. It is to be highly condemned.
That's been House Report this edition. Thanks for logging on.